May the classes be going, please.
Thank you very much. It's a great privilege and honor to be amongst all the Rotaract, and it's very kind of you to invite me to Daksha 2015 and the closing ceremony. And I just had the privilege of going to KIIT, the from kindergarten to postgraduate institute established by Dr. Samantha. His dream that he had to establish KIIT and to contribute to 25,000 students actually from tribal areas in Odisha to be educated from kindergarten to postgraduate is a major achievement. That one can always have a dream, but to realize it is very rare. And to witness that and to go around the campus was an amazing experience. And to come here among the Rotaract in the closing ceremony, it looks like you had 2 long days and you want to get out of this place as soon as possible. So I see myself more as an intruder between yourself and dinner, the sumptuous dinner that's waiting. So I'll cut short whatever I have to say. And as Dr. Samantha just mentioned, if I could share my background, but he already summed up who I am. But I grew up in a beautiful town called Darjeeling, but more from a village. And then from that village, I went on to study in Tibetan refugee school, then to Delhi University, and then I got Fulbright scholarship to go to Harvard Law School to do my master's degree. After completing that, I did my doctorate degree, and then I was a fellow and senior fellow at Harvard Law School. Then in 2011, I returned to India to serve the Tibetan people. I was elected by Tibetans around the world. So I'm also nearing my 4 years in the service. And then I do believe that social service, paying back to the community, is very important. In one's life, obviously you can have a career. Obviously all of you will have a career. You're all educated. But then to be part of a cause makes the difference in life. As we say in Buddhism or in Hinduism, you are born and you die. No one can escape death. Life and death are part of the same coin. So if you are born, and we all know we have to die. So what you make of your life, that's the difference. So in life, if you can contribute something towards a cause, towards a community, towards your own country, that will be something that you can leave this world with actually. At the end of your life, when I applied for Harvard Law School, I wrote my statement of purpose. That's why I want to go to Harvard Law School. And at the end, I summed up by saying, I said, I want to serve the Tibetan cause. And hence getting into Harvard Law School will give me a perspective and exposure that can make me a better leader. But, and I also said that I don't want to die in life without regrets, because I do want to serve the Tibetan community. Hence, getting education at Harvard Law School will make the difference to make me a better leader. But I said, I will die without regrets, meaning I would have served my life for Tibet and Tibetan people with or without a degree from Harvard Law School. So I think Harvard Law School took me mainly because they saw the commitment in me at that particular time, and I'm very grateful for that. And then I returned after 16 years in America to serve the Tibetan people, to be part of the Tibetan cause. This is a cause for human rights, this is a cause for environmental rights, this is a cause in many ways for the sake of India's security as well. As you know, historically, there was no border between India and China. It was always a border between India and Tibet. The 4,000 kilometers long border was always between India and Tibet. And Indian government or India didn't have at that particular time in history, 1950s, even really well-established border establishment, well-established defense establishment. Now Indian government spends billions for the defense of the Himalayan belt, for 4,000 kilometers long of defense. And all the expenses could have been well spent for educational, environmental and social issues within India. But that is being diverted towards defense of India at the moment. And also I was just mentioning at the school that Tibet is also land of Mount Kailash and Mansarovar. So the Lake Mansarovar is in Tibet and Mount Kailash is in Tibet. Even though we Tibetans are seeking refuge in India, we are giving refuge to Lord Shiva. So I saw many Shiv Bhakt walking around. And by the way, many of you are also drinking Tibetan water, that all the major rivers of Asia flow from Tibet. So when you drink water, do remember it could be originating in Tibet. The Indus River, the Satluj River, the Brahmaputra, the Ganges also touches the Himalayan belt. So in that sense, as the guardian or the steward of the Tibetan plateau for hundreds of years, we have always respected the nature and have always shared our rivers, our mountains with the rest of the world. And at this particular time, it is not so. This is a sad part of Tibet's history, but nonetheless, we would like to restore the Tibet's past and with it, good relationship with India as well and the neighboring countries. And one last thing, at the event, I presented the tanka or the painting of Buddha. It so happened that as I entered the KIIT campus, I offered flowers to Lord Buddha. I was made to offer flowers to Lord Buddha as part of respect, which I gladly did. And I was also given a portrait of Buddha by Dr. Samantha, and it so happened that I also brought a tanka of Lord Buddha for Dr. Samantha. So it's a karmic coincidence that there's a lot of Buddha being exchanged and respected. But then I hope this land of Buddha, the great nation of India, will not forget the message of Buddha. His message has always been peace, compassion, non-violence. His message has traveled around the world. Many people have benefited the message of Buddha. And I think from time to time, we have to remind ourselves in India that Buddha was from India and his message should be flourishing and should be embraced by Indian people more than the rest of the world. Sometimes when I travel around, I do wonder whether Buddha has forgotten India or India has forgotten Buddha. And I think this great land of India is a land of Buddha, and his message of peace, compassion should prevail all over India. And as far as Tibetans are concerned, we have preserved the most comprehensive text of Buddha and Buddhist teaching. Tibet has the most comprehensive text of Buddha. No other country has. And also, we claim that we have preserved the best, the most substantive teachings of Buddha in Tibet. In that sense, the Sovereignist Dharam always says, because Buddha was born in India, India is our guru. And Tibetans are India's Chela. But we take pride in saying that we are one of the best, if not the best Chela, perhaps at this particular time, better than the guru, modern Indian guru. And then lastly, I just want to, in this day and age of global violence, with terrorism spreading all across the world and with violence all across the continent, it's always important to remember the message of non-violence and peace. And then there are a lot of things going on in the name of religion, from the IS issues in the Middle East to Boko Haram in Africa, And if you look from Paris to Peshawar, and if you look at Thailand, if you look at Sri Lanka, if you look at different parts of the world, in the name of religion, whether it is Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, if you look at Northern Ireland, Protestant and Catholics fought against each other for so many decades in the name of same God. So a lot of things are happening, but then much is blamed to religion. Actually, one should make a difference between religion, religiosity, religionism. Religion is all good. Religion is always all-inclusive. Religion is always for peace, non-violence. But religiosity, when religion goes to the community, then the differences starts there. Then in the community, I become Buddhist community, you become Hindu community, they become Muslim community, they become Christian community, they become Sikh community. Then the differences among religion starts. Not because religion is bad. Religion is all inclusive. But when it goes to community, when it becomes religiosity, it becomes problematic. Then the worst happens when it becomes religionism. When religion is reduced to ideology, then it becomes more problematic. Now you are not only communities of religion, but in fact you want to impose one religion over other. Then you want to impose that ideology over a country, over a continent, then it becomes real problematic. Then violence happens. So religion is all inclusive. We make it exclusive. Then we make it exploitative. And we make it explosive. So religion cannot be blamed. In that sense, the message of Buddha, of inclusiveness, of peace, of compassion, of Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity is all the same. But we, the people, make it problematic when we begin to differentiate ourselves, separate ourselves in the name of religion. And then when religion becomes religionism, when it becomes ideology, then that's when all the problems start. So in that sense, this is the day and age where we have to remember our gurus, like Buddha, who taught us only nonviolence, only peace, only compassion, and only inclusiveness. I hope you all know this, but I'm here as a Tibetan to remind the great people of India the message of Buddha from the land he was born, from the land where the message of Buddha is spread across the world. And as a Tibetan, we have preserved the best teachings of Buddhism. And if you go to Tibetan settlement here in Chandragiri or to various parts of India, you see many Tibetan monasteries. And you might wonder, what are these Tibetan monasteries? But if you go inside, you will see many portraits of saints or scholars. But actually, if you read very carefully, it's either written in Sanskrit or Pali. The names of these scholars are Indians. Atisha, Nagarjuna, all of them. And by the way, Nagarjuna, the brilliant Buddhist scholar, was from Nalanda University. And he happens to be also from Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra brain is supposed to be quite brainy. And then we owe a lot to Nagarjuna. And he also passed by Odisha. This is also from Amravati to Bhubaneswar nearby. This is the belt of what we call Kalachakra belt of Buddhism as well. So I'm not here to give you a geography lessons of great Indian masters to Indian students and Indian activists. But as a Tibetan, it is my duty to remind ourselves that what we have built in India, all the Tibetan monasteries, are in fact a homage to all the great Indian scholars. We are preserving what the Indian masters taught us. So as a student, we've been the best student. And as a best student, we want to go back to Tibet and restore the same Buddhism, Buddhist philosophy of non-violence, peace, back in Tibet. And it is in India's interest, once Tibet is peaceful, the border, you don't have to spend billions of dollars on border. We will take care of it. And you don't have to worry about the origin of water. We will give you for free. We will not send you in plastic bottles the Ganges, the Brahmaputra, the Indus, the Satluj, you've been drinking for centuries, you can keep drinking for centuries to come if Tibetan stewardship and Tibetan guardianship is restored. That is our goal, and I hope you will join us to make Himalaya an environmentally sound place, and Himalaya with Tibet as the roof of the world, a peaceful place. When that happens, the true message of Buddha will be restored. Till then, both the teacher and students will not be fulfilling our responsibilities and duties. But I do believe that day will come very soon. When that day comes, Tibet's story will be one of the best stories of the 21st century. And you all will make it possible, we all will make it possible. And then the world will be a better place, India will be a better place, South Asia will be a better place. Thank you.